Hey everyone, it's Anson here from Weekend Garage. Today, I'll be showing you guys on everything to look out for if you're considering purchasing a used Ram 1500 that's 2019 plus. 2019 plus Rams are considered 5th gen unless you purchase a classic Ram. So if you've got these headlights and this is a similar look of the vehicle you're looking for, whether it's a Rebel, Limited, Bighorn, and Longhorn, any of the models, on 2019 plus, this video will apply to you. We've owned this vehicle for over 5 years, so all the ins and outs, all the quirks, what you got to look out for, what goes wrong, we're going to go over in this video. So when you're looking at the used vehicle of your desire, you're going to know what to look out for and not get caught with a lemon. So first of all, we're going to talk about the exterior, and then the engine and the drivetrain, and then last but not least, we're going to talk about the interior and everything to look out for. When you're purchasing a used vehicle, especially on a Ram, you want to check the headlights, make sure all the bulbs are working, make sure there's no condensation inside because these are expensive. And also if the bulbs go bad on the LED models, you have to replace the whole housing. You can no longer replace just the bulb or the LED itself. You have to buy a whole new headlight housing. So factor that into the cost. If there's fog inside, mildew, or the lights don't work, you want to get that. Inside the front shutters, on the Rebel at least, and many others, if you look closely, there's slats behind the grille. That is called the active shutter system. So when you drive your vehicle in the winter, as you start it up, the shutters will shut off completely, so no airflow will go through the engine, making your engine heat up much faster, getting to optimal temperature and having heat coming through your vents way earlier than if you didn't have that. So you want to make sure you look into the grille, make sure the radiator is not damaged or your active shutter system is not broken, nothing snapped behind there because it gets expensive. You want to check out for rock chips on the hood, rock chips on the bumper. When that rusts, it looks bad. Make sure down here, if you look underneath the vehicle, not on the Rebel, there's also a thing called the active air dam. So it comes down when you go on highway speeds and it retracts as you get off highway speeds. If that breaks or it gets stuck, you're going to get a check engine light on the dash, which I'll show you guys how to check for all the codes with our software, Alpha OBD, and our Weekend Garage reader. Once you plug it in the dash, it'll pull off all the codes if it has on your vehicle. So if you're seriously considering the truck of your choice, it's good to do a software read as well, but we'll cover that later. So a continuation on what to look out for the vehicle. There's fog lights both sides as you want to check the housing. You want to look underneath the vehicle. Make sure if it's been off-roaded, it's not damaged, the frame's not split or there's no rust. So just a visual inspection of all the wheel wells underneath the vehicle and on the frame along the side. So if we're looking at the suspension here, I can briefly tell you guys what to look out for here. So we're on the passenger side. If you look down here, they all come with a mud guard here. I've taken it off in order to fit these larger 35 TRX tires. So if there's stock tires on there and you realize the mud guard here is missing, an extended mud guard, it means they've fitted bigger wheels on there before, and that might cause more wear on the suspension if you have spacers or a lift on the system. Make sure if they did a lift, it's proper. Try to avoid the ones with just the puck because that ruins the overall geometry of the suspension, causing more wear and tear on either the ball joints or the control arms. So if you're looking for a clean and stock vehicle, you want to take that into consideration and the price as well if it's been modified before. We want to make sure if you have the steps that they retract and they deploy properly. These are AMP aftermarket steps, so we know it works. But on the limited models and on other models, you want to make sure that it actually deploys and it doesn't make weird noises or get stuck. So along with the visual inspection, you want to go all the way around. If there's an accident, you can see the tone in the daytime. It's harder to see at night, but when the sun shines on it, you should typically be able to see the difference in color if there's a damage, if there's been damage before. As we get closer to the vehicle, pretty much every Ram is going to experience this. Alongside the top of the glass, whichever glass you have, whether it's with the rear window or without, it's going to eventually crack and leak. Crack as in there is a plastic bar on the top inside, which will crack. Once it happens, water will intrude from here into the vehicle. So how we can inspect that as well is if you open the door, If your headliner is not black, you look up and there's water stains, there's been a leak in that vehicle and you want to make sure that's either addressed or factored into the price. If it's not been addressed before, no worries, there's a fix on our channel. It's a cheap and quick fix, which can be resolved by yourself. So if it hasn't been fixed, don't worry. Just make sure it's factored into the price because it will for sure leak if it hasn't leaked already. Next up here, the third brake light also leaks. So they've got a replacement gasket or a new part number for that, but it also leaks from there. And also the shark fin up top also leaks. So pretty much everything in the back leaks here. If it hasn't already, it will eventually leak. And you can also make sure by looking at the headliners not stained, you can also flip the seats up and make sure there's no mold on the carpet. Because people who don't realize that it's leaked before, there's actually mold growing on the carpets. So to check if it's leaked before, if you look back here, if your headliner is not black, it's really simple. If there's a stain on your gray headliner, you know there's been a leak before. So up there, if it's leaked before, you'll see stains. And also you can inspect it in the daytime or up close. There's going to be cracks along here, the plastic piece, wherever on the back. So you can inspect that. Also, you can flip these seats up and take a look, make sure there's no mold under there. Because if there's mold, you got a problem. So if you guys have the RAM box, you want to test the features of it, because on the RAM box, sometimes it's warped and it won't open or close properly, as we've seen on the forums. When you're inspecting the rear bumper down here, you can measure the gap between the bumper and the actual body with your fingers. Sometimes one side, it's got a much bigger gap than the other, and it's just how they come from the factory. So you want to make sure you're aware of that. Make sure the exhaust tips line up down here. So if the exhaust has been changed, you can realize or know that's been changed. Visually inspect everything in the back, your license plate lights. Make sure the tailgate actually works, because everything gets really expensive with these models. And if you do have a retractable step back here, you can actually test it, pull it out, and make sure it actually retracts. Last but not least, we want to make sure we take a look at the taillights as we have with the front. If you look up close, they actually look cracked. It's hard to see in the dark here, but if you look down here, there's a manufacturing defect. They come cracked over here, right on this line, on any trim, as long as they have the LED. So you want to make sure there's no water or mold inside your lights. So on all the models before 2022, the front aperture, they call this, if you remove this fender, water intrudes a lot from here. So how you know that is if you're buying from a dealer, you can see what kind of recalls have been done on it. Or it's actually not a recall, it's called a TSB, which is a technical service bulletin, which is a specific repair for this issue, because there's been so many happening in the model years 19 to 22. So if that's been resolved, if not, it's going to leak here eventually. And your fender has to come off in order to do that repair. How you know if it's been leaking is when you open the driver's door, there's going to be a whole puddle of water on the floor. It's going to be constantly humid on your mats, and you'll know if it's leaking. So on the exterior, besides checking the lights, the frame for rust or damage from off-roading, hanging off rocks, your steps, your suspension, visual inspections, and leaks in the front here and the leaks in the back. That's about it for the exterior, so we can move on to the engine bay. So next up, we're going to open up the engine bay. And you want to make sure you're looking at your engine bay. It's probably detailed and clean if you're looking at it at a dealership. As you can see, ours is dusty, so you can see if there's been leaks or damages or rats chewing on your wire. Just a visual inspection, because once we start up later, you're going to listen to it and make sure there's no weird noises, clicking, or noises that sound expensive. The visual inspection you can do is when you take a look at this thing right here with the yellow cap, that's your brake reservoir. So if your brake fluid's black, you can see it from the outside. If it's black, it needs to be changed. That should be factored into the cost. Your battery right here, there should be a date on it. Typically they last 5 years. So if it's over, you know it's got to be replaced soon. So what you want to do next is check the odometer on your dash. If it's showing something really low, you want to check the wear and tear on the seats, because people do change the odometer on these. They roll it back. Unfortunately, it sucks, but some people do that. So when you check the seats here, if it's a higher mileage car, if they're not taking care of it, it'll all be busted or wear really bad. As you can see on ours, it's got about 40, 9,000 kilometers. It looks brand new. Doesn't even look like there's any wear on the seats. And on the side here, if you look at the metal on the bottom, so over here, if people have been dragging their feet up and down, it's going to be scratched to almost bare metal, as you can see on some vehicles. We put PPF here, which is a thick plastic vinyl that will self-heal if there's scratches. So as you can see on ours, there's no scratches at all. Next up, you just want to inspect the interior, make sure the speakers aren't poked in, just general inspection, make sure there's no scratches, all your windows button work. You want to test every single button, lock, unlock your door, make sure there's no weird noises. And we're going to get to the driver's side, which is where the important stuff happens. So next up, we're going to talk about the infotainment system. There's 12-inch displays, which is the one you see here. There's 8-inch and 4-inch displays. What you see here is not the standard 2020 display. This has been retrofitted from a 2024 Ram. So if you see a full screen CarPlay and it's also wireless, that means it's the Uconnect 5. But if the user hasn't updated it, it's going to be only half the screen will be CarPlay and it won't be wireless CarPlay. You actually need to plug in your phone in order to get this screen. We show these tutorials on how to upgrade it on our channel if your vehicle doesn't come with it. So don't worry if you buy one without. You can always change the screen out if you have a smaller screen or the smallest screen. Pretty much everything in these cars or these trucks can be retrofitted, which we show on our channel. So if you have the limited or the leather dash, it will peel back in the sun. You want to inspect that it hasn't already started peeling or they did some dodgy repairs, because once it's out of warranty, it's going to be very expensive because they got to either replace the whole dash or fix it somehow. Big headache. You want to make sure you catch it before you buy the car. So now we're going to start the truck. Make sure it sounds normal. We're going to go for a test drive and I'll show you guys what to look out for. All right, now that we're doing our test drive, first off, when you shift from park to drive, you want to have your window cracked. Make sure you're going to listen for a thumping noise. If you change it to drive and the whole vehicle jerks forward and it has a clunking noise, then you know you have an issue with the transmission, which is very common with these years. It's something to do with the software. It's called the transmission shift points and the adaptations. So if it shifts hard and it makes that clunk, we have a fix on our channel on how to reset that with our software, which is called Alpha OBD. It's on our other video. So if your vehicle does do that clunk, don't panic. It's usually a software issue most of the time. Now we're going to drive slowly, and then on the gauge cluster beside the drive, you can see your current gear position. So we're going to go up to speed starting from slow. Make sure you have your window open, turn your radio off, because you want to listen to any weird noises while you're driving. So as you drive, when you're on a straight road, you want to let go of the steering wheel, like have your hand nearby, and make sure the vehicle actually moves straight, because the alignment is messed up sometimes on these trucks. When people take them off-roading pretty hard, it messes up the geometry and the alignment is cooked. Or if they go through speed bumps all the time too fast, or if they ride curbs all the time, your vehicle may go one way. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is you got to check your tire depth and your tread, make sure it's been rotated, and your brakes. But anyways, back to the test drive. As you're driving and you're getting it up to speed, after some low speed testing, that's when you can start to do some acceleration tests to make sure it gets up to speed and it goes through the rev range smoothly without misfiring or any check engine lights or problems on the dash regarding warnings. After you've done that, what you want to do is test the braking, make sure there's no weird noise from the master cylinder. So you can usually achieve all these with your windows cracked like we have done here. After that, you're going to look at the shifter down here. You can have different shift modes. So there's different shift modes: two-wheel drive, four-wheel high, four-wheel low, and usually there's a four-wheel auto. We're just going to go through all of these on your test drive because there's a transfer case and we want to make sure that's functional when engaged and there's no weird clunking or jerk in motion when you are utilizing these different modes. So it's pretty much just testing every feature on the vehicle, from hazards to every button on your steering wheel, make sure everything works. It sounds like, it's very generic and that you should already know this stuff, but most of the time it gets missed. When you see a truck you really like, you like the black or you like the wheels on it, and you get emotionally attached to the vehicle thinking you know, it's the best truck. But make sure when you guys are making a purchase, it's got to be an informed purchase so you don't get stuck with the bill if these issues do arise. They're not too expensive, and the truck is easy to work on overall compared to German vehicles. But since there's so many Rams available, if you're patient and you take your time to look, you can find a very clean one. Because there's a lot of people that just daily drive it around the city, or you know, they don't treat it as a work truck like we do here. But I know that's less common out in the countryside. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Let me know if you guys got any questions. You can email us directly at info@weekendgarage.com, or you can leave a comment down in the comments below in this video, and we'll get back to you guys on any questions that you may have regarding this vehicle. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Hope to see you guys on the next one.